Okay, guys, so I want to say this politely because I don't want to insult anybody, but basically, I was always raised that a lot of English recipes are kind of bland. That's what I've been told. I've had some great English food. I've had meat pies. Over the years, I've done a lot. What I believe Yorkshire pudding is English. I've had some really good English dishes. But I started looking, I like the mashed potatoes, this recipe, and they're very basic, simple flavors. And that maybe is how they like it. I don't know. Like where the French is always cramming flavor in on every level. They're very intricate on their cooking methods and everything. So I got an old English recipe for sage stuffing. And I'm gonna do it a little bit different because they want me to do one step where I boil my onions. Don't want to boil onions. I'm against boiling in water. I'm just against it. I don't like it. There's so many other ways to cook things, okay? So I'm probably going to saute the onions before putting the dish together. So come on in. I'll show you the ingredients. Once again, respect to the English. I have many friends in the UK. And I've noticed there's a trend, though, with their recipes. And they're very straight, simple folk. And I'm excited to do this old English recipe. I'm excited to be doing this Bob Cratchit Christmas like you would see on the table in A Christmas Carol. So that's just an idea I've had for years. So we finally did it. We did the mashed potatoes. We're doing the stuffing. And then we're going to do the plum pudding, which that is beyond. So if that's an old English recipe, that's completely opposite of this. This is very simple and basic. That is scary, okay? Plum pudding, plus then we got the goose. I haven't even thought of how I'm going to do the goose yet. I haven't even looked it up or done research or anything. So trust me when I say they don't just have basic recipes. You're going to see in this series some simple recipes, and then you're going to see some intricate recipes with the plum pudding, okay? I'm really excited to be doing that. But in the meantime, come in close. Let's take care of the sage dressing for the goose. It's going to be, it's not a stuffing because I guess a dressing is on the side and stuffing is in the bird. That's what I was told. Who knows? Everybody argues. Fat on top, fat on bottom when you smoke. I don't know. But anyway, come on in close and I'll show you how this works. All right, so you guys are probably wondering why I got all the bread laying out. I've had it out all night. It's nice and stale. This is going to be my breadcrumbs. So you can use breadcrumbs in this recipe if you want. It'll be in the recipe. Or you can just cube up this stale bread. Okay, so you may want to do this different, but let me tell you how I was taught to make your breadcrumbs. I wanted 4 rows of bread. So I would just take the stale bread, cut right through it. Okay. Another one. Another one. There we go. Then I put the bread back in like that. So it looks like it's all together. Turn it sideways and do it again. Do 3 cuts. And you'll have your cubed. There you go. There you go. And if some pieces didn't get cut, just go after them like that, okay? And you get these beautiful little cubes, okay? That's all. Just cut them in a bunch of cubes. And then get a big mixing bowl because you're going to need that to collect all your breadcrumbs. So let's get one right now. There we go. Here we're at the stove to do everything. We're going to do it in this big skillet, get it all prepared. You're looking at some Kerrygold butter again. Gonna go with that. We're gonna melt that in the pan. Pan's not on yet. I just wanna get the butter out. Well, yeah. Make sure you get all the butter out. Now turn it on. Make sure you got a flame. Yep, got a flame going. We're going to do everything in here before we put it into the baking dish. Alright? So we're going to melt that butter. Let me move this butter so we don't get too much butter. That butter's melting nice and fast because we had it at room temperature. Always take your butter down to room temperature before starting, whether you're baking or whether you're cooking. It just makes things a lot easier when it's really, really soft. Alright, starting to bust. Put a little onion in there. See how it does. Start sizzling. That's good. Drop your onions in there. Oops. A little skin right there. Pull it out. There you go. There we go. Put my spoon off to the side. Now, normally, I wait till everything's in, but I'd rather do it right now. Get it saturated in that butter. I like pepper. There we go. Now remember, if your butter has salt already, just a little bit of salt. Not a lot. But if it doesn't, if it's unsalted butter, then you may have to apply a little bit more for flavor. There we go. We got our salt and pepper in there. Good. We won't have to add it later now. It's in the butter. It's in the onions. Okay, onions are looking pretty good. Shrinking up a little bit, sauteing a little bit, pepper and salt all over them, butter, all that good stuff. So let's start adding the rest of it in. Take our sage, get that mixed in. Fresh sage leaves. Get that in there for a few minutes. Let that start popping. You should smell sage all through your kitchen right now. I love the smell of sage. It smells amazing. It smells like the holidays. Just really good. Get that worked in. All right, let's get the breadcrumbs in. Get that all mixed in. It's not hot right now. You can just kind of press down your breadcrumbs. But basically, you're going to wind up getting everything worked in. Put your breadcrumbs, your sage, your onion, salt, pepper, butter, and that's about it. Get this cooked down a little bit. If you need a little extra moisture, add more butter. This is going to have tons of butter in the dish anyway. Tons of butter in the pan. Plus, we're going to put more butter in later. It's all seasoned to taste. Looking good. The bread's absorbing the butter and the seasoning. Getting that sage flavor in there. Nice job. Do you know how much I've wanted to add something to this dish? I'm trying to stay true to form. The only thing I did was I didn't boil the onions. If you want to boil the onions, you can. But I sauteed the onions in the butter, okay? But I wanted to add bacon to this. I wanted to add nuts and raisins to this, celery and carrots to this, but I can't because it completely destroys the dish and the quality of the simpleness of a sage stuffing, all right? So let's get our baking dish filled up with this stuffing. There we go. I'm just going to take a little bit of butter, pinch off a little bit there, pinch off a little bit around the plate. All right? And they tell you to dot butter. It's coming out everywhere. Just dot butter everywhere. Oops. Take a little bit of that, bring it over here. I'm just using the wrapper to spread it because I don't want to dirty more dishes. All right, let's go over the baking rule. We've dotted it with butter. We've loaded it up. We're going to take our cover, put it on right now, keep it warm. Here's the deal. 350 degrees. You're going to bake this 25 to 30 minutes. Then you're going to take the lid off and bake it for another 10 minutes to crisp up the outside, okay? You guys get that? All right, good. chunky. Smells real good though. Once again, butter and sage. The bread's toasty. Let's see how it looks. Yeah. The bread's all toasty and buttery. Okay, if it went by smell, this would be a home run. If it went by smell, but we're going to go by taste. There's not a lot in this dish. As you saw, the basic ingredients, so we're going to try and get a little bit of everything and give it a taste. Whew, that's piping hot. Wow. Smells great. This is the English way, but if I were to flavor this up a little bit, I would have added a little chicken stock. Kind of drizzled it on this dish before I put it in the oven. Yeah, this is really good, guys. You got a little bit of everything. Wow. All right, one more bite. So sagey. I don't even know if that's a word, but it's right here. Guys, very little in this dish, but when it all comes together, it tastes just like dressing. It's so good. All the ingredients are good. So, give it a try. Let me know what you think, all right? Here's the deal. The official Cooking with Jack Show group page on Facebook is where I'm going to start broadcasting live, and I'm going to start doing giveaways. We're going to do both. We do live broadcasts on Facebook, the official Cooking with Jack Show page, and then we're going to do giveaways through that page because doing things through YouTube is painful. So we've decided that Facebook gives me more controls. I can communicate with you guys. I can't communicate with you on YouTube. I can only see your comments, but I can't write you if I want to write you. So anyway, join my Facebook page, the official Cooking with Jack Show group. Join the group. It's not really a page. They have pages and they have groups. Join the group. I'll see you there, and hopefully you win something, all right? Happy holidays. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.